did a pretty brilliant job of going point by point through the Massey resolution and showing why it's not equipped to get the answers that the Oversight Committee is. And I want to thank the chairman for your work for the last 5 weeks and the ranking member. And hopefully we can get to a place of bipartisanship here. Democrats have tried to rewrite history in relates to Epstein over the last 2 months. These files sat under lock and key, and they stood by and did nothing for the last 4 years, as many of my colleagues have pointed out here. These sudden calls for transparency only came after the Republicans in the majority were achieving the agenda that they ran on. They looked for a distraction. They looked for a political tool. And this is a pretty craven political tool to question the character of your colleagues in the name calling and the assaults on individual member character because of this issue, when it was actually your party, when it was in power and had the opportunity to do something with it, and you did nothing. The fact is, Republicans have led the way on transparency from the very beginning. It was the House Rules Republicans who first advanced meaningful calls to release the Epstein files. And since then, Chairman Comer, I salute you. You've already publicized 34,000 plus documents today from the Department of Justice. The subpoenas and subpoena in the Epstein estate, I think that's a huge step towards transparency in conducting interviews with key officials, with many, many more to come. And meanwhile, the Democrats have been all over the map. First, they demanded the release of files with no protections for the victims. Then they scrambled to backfill safeguards and then flip-flopped on whether or not the resolutions even matter. This approach is not grounded in principle. It is grounded in pure craven politics. We've heard a lot of fear-mongering, misinformation. Chairman Comer, is there anything you'd like to respond or clear up? I'm the last one up here on the dais, and I'd like to give you some time.
No, I appreciate it. I'll just state again, I really believe that this can be a bipartisan investigation. This is a bipartisan issue. The American people, whether you're liberal or conservative, whether you're urban or rural, they're interested in the Epstein tragedy. They want to know who all was involved. They want to know if the government was involved. They want names, and they want some accountability. They want justice for the victims, and I hope that's what we can do, and we're well on our way. I mean, I think that some of the Democrats on the Rules Committee are trying to create a false narrative that nothing's been done and the Republicans are against releasing the Epstein files. We just released 34,000 pages. We've already deposed a former Republican Attorney General. We're fixing to bring in another former U.S. attorney who served in the Trump administration as a cabinet secretary. We haven't heard back from many Democrats yet that we've subpoenaed. So I think the Republicans have stepped up, not just in Congress, but also in the Trump administration, releasing the Epstein files. I expect to have 100% of the Epstein files, and look, as soon as we get them, we're going to look at them, and we'll make sure that no names of victims are published who don't want their names published. If Mr. Garcia sees something fishy, I'm sure he'll cry foul, and I know that the media will pick it up. So we're going to do everything we can to be 100% transparent and expeditious. And I think that what we're doing tonight will help us if we end up in court with anything. But the discharge petition and waiting for the whole process, that just slows us down. That just slows us down. And we're moving at a rapid pace, and hopefully with this resolution we can keep moving. And like I said, we've already got scheduled dates for more interviews and expect to receive more documents. So September the 8th is when the estate is going to turn over the document. We'll be hopefully looking at bank records very soon. So I think you're going to see a lot. We've already moved quickly over the last 30 days, and I think you're going to see a lot more movement over the next 30 days.
Thank you for your leadership, Mr. Chairman, and Madam Chair, I yield back.
Thank you very much, Mr. Langworthy. Gentlemen, I believe that concludes the questions and answers, and I appreciate your coming. You are dismissed from the committee.